Wait just a second to see if we can't get some people on here. Why it takes so long to get that clicker started? Anyway, so we are live on all three platforms. So first up tonight is our advertisers. Go and supporters, sponsors. This J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. What's up, Mr. Goheen? Mr. Gary Dubois, whatever you want to say. I don't know how to say his last name properly, I don't think. But he is the owner of J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. The man is amazing. Just flat ass amazing. What's up, Uncle Bruno? Any type of gold plating, chroming, nickel, polishing, whatever you need, he does it. They do it great. You got to get a hold of him. Give him a call at the shop at 651-251-7400 or reach out to Mr. Gary himself on Facebook. Whatever you do, tell him Kevin with the Grind sent you. Let that man advertising dollars are working for him. Next up, Street Bagger Magazine. I really don't know what to say about this magazine because I know it's badass. I've seen it online. You got to go out, got to get you a subscription. Street Bagger Magazine, if I'm not mistaken, it's streetbaggermagazine.com, or you can go to urbanridesmagazine.com and get to them. But you got to get over there and you got to check them out and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. Baggers, audio upgrades, paint, full builds, modifications, seats, anything you could possibly want when it comes to baggers. We do it right here in Manville, Texas. Get a hold of us at Legacy Bike Works on Facebook, or now the Legacy Bike Works on Instagram. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine. Urban Rides Magazine, established in 2019. It's hard to believe he's been around for 4 years now, with probably, in my opinion, one of the best magazines in the industry ever. The quality is impeccable. Plus, they have online subscriptions, so you got to go check them out at urbanridesmagazine.com, or you can hook up with them on Facebook at Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook. But whatever you do, get over there, go check them out, and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Stellar Customs. Stellar Customs. I mean, what do you say about this guy? He built some badass, full, true carbon fiber windshields. These things are amazing. All kinds of patterns, colors, prints. These are real carbon fiber. These aren't laminated or anything like that. So you got to go check them out at stellarcustoms.com, or give them a call at the number on the screen and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Another great publication up north. Awesome, awesome stuff. If you're in Chicago, Illinois, Indiana, anywhere up around there, you need to go find somewhere that's got them and get you one, or check them out at Indiana Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine on Facebook. Next up, American Drag Seats, AmericanDragSeats.com. Enough said right there. AmericanDragSeats.com. You want a kick-ass custom seat? AmericanDragSeats.com. You want airbags in your seat? AmericanDragSeats.com. You want custom upholstery? You want real hides? You want synthetic stuff? Everything you could possibly want. One-stop shop. You send us a pan, or we can make you a pan. You send us a stock seat, we can modify it. You just send us a seat, we'll recover it. Doesn't matter. We can handle it. AmericanDragSeats.com or American Drag Seats / Attitude Inc. on Facebook, American Drag Seats on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere you want to go, we are there. Next up, our good friends over at North DFW Trailers. North DFW Trailers on Facebook, and North DFW Trailers does rentals. They sell trailers, they outfit trailers, they repair trailers. Anything you need with a trailer, they got you covered. Go check them out at North DFW Trailers on Facebook and let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, my good buddy Earl Hopkins at Hopkins Design. Web, print, branding, video, hosting, drone footage, websites, fine artwork. The dude can draw like Jesus Christ, he can draw. Give the man a pencil and a piece of paper, he'll draw you something amazing. But reach out to him at hopkinsdesign.com or hit him up, Earl Hopkins, on Facebook. And last but not least, the badasses. Hellspeedshop.com. Hell Speed Shop has some of the most badass flannel shirts I've ever seen. I have an inventory of them now. These things are amazing. Plus, they're collector's items. Uh, the best quality I've ever seen. Killer flannel shirts. For those of you guys that wear the flannel shirts, you got to at least give them a chance. Hellspeedshop.com. Look for the grind logo, get 10% off, and that way they'll know you came from here. Anyway, hellspeedshop.com. All right, everybody, here we are. Another Thursday night on the grind. We have the regulars up in the house. Let me go and give my shout outs. Mr. Jeremy Goheen, Uncle Bruno, Tim Nagy, Marsha Fitzpatrick, Mr. Patrick Price is in the house, Mr. Smooth Juban and his pretty wife, Janice Juban, Mr. Tim Skates in the house, RRKC Knives is in the house, Mr. Rich Cozy's in the house. Who else we got? What's up, Mr. William Cole? Let's see. Who else we got in here tonight? Who else we got? Mr. Gerard Lefrancois. Y'all know who he is. That's Michelle Lefrancois' dad. Man, that girl is kicking ass and taking names. I own the show, so I can cuss. I can say it. That girl is amazing. Jesus, she's amazing. She is doing nothing but taking this painting game and fabrication game. She is getting as serious as any guy I've ever seen, and her paint jobs, they prove it. I mean, she's amazing. But anyway, so what I want to discuss tonight is a topic that gets brought up so much in this flipping industry, man. And I'll tell you this, man. If you don't own a bike shop, it's hard for you to understand. You can sit back in the background and you can hear some of the nipping and name calling and bullshit that goes on between shops. And then when you see them out at shows, everybody's getting along. But as soon as they get back to their shops, they're all bad mouthing each other. I'm starting to kind of figure it out. Legacy Bike Works, my son owns it, and I help him out a lot with that. As a father, I'm proud, very, very proud of him. And I'm trying to teach him everything that I know. I reach out to a lot of my friends in the industry, pick their brains for stuff that we may not know, issues here, issues there. And for the most part, my team, what you would call your team, which basically is just my group of friends in this industry, everybody's always willing to help us out. Everybody's always willing to go that extra mile to help us do things until we can get a storefront. Now, with that being said, we have had the rare opportunity to take 3 bikes on since we opened up in October from other shops and have to go back over someone else's work. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not here to trash the other shops, but what I am here to say is that it seems like to me, some people don't care how it looks, how it functions. As long as it works while it's sitting on the center stand or sitting on the kickstand, they're happy as all get out. Give me your money and get on down the road. We have a bike right now that we're doing that it amazes me that anybody, someone in their garage working, a shop, let alone a professional shop, would ever do a build like this. I'm not going to say the shop's name because here and again, I don't want to bash them. What I'm trying to explain is I see it. I see it all the time. And I know there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. I get it. I totally understand that one guy may install something this way, another guy may install it this way. Man, I get all that. That's totally cool. But sometimes when you see stuff and you sit back and you scratch your head and you're like, why would they do that? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make logical sense. And I sit here and I keep thinking, and of course, Devin, he gets with me. He's like, Dad, why do we keep getting these basket cases? It just seems like that's what we're getting is. And I'm like, Devin, no, it's not isolated to you. A lot of shops go through these. A lot of shops go through stuff just like this, where they're having to go back over somebody else's work. And all you do is you try to sympathize with the customer, Let them know, hey, look, we understand. We understand you feel slighted by the other company. We understand that you've spent a lot of money with the other company, but you're at our shop now. And I can sit here and I can tell you and say all the right words. But at the end of the day, one thing you get from me and Devin, and I don't think you get this from any shop, but I know you get it from us, is that we take pictures of your bike when it rolls in 360 all the way around it. You got one, two, three, four pictures. Okay, that way you can zoom in, see things, this, that, and the other. When we start tearing stuff apart, once we get it apart, we take more pictures. Once we start doing the modifications, we take more pictures. Once we start doing the upgrades, we take more pictures. And we do this on purpose so that when we text message it to the customers, they feel comfortable. They know their stuff's getting worked on. Even if we have 2 or 3 bikes, we're still sending pictures. Now, I'll say this. In my shop right now today, there are 2 bikes that there are no pictures going out of. And that's my buddy Mike Duran's 360 Monster that I'm building him, and the Martin Brothers bike that we are completely restoring. The reason that there's no pictures going back and forth between those is because I'm having to wait to have parts machined and manufactured for one of the bikes. And then the other bike, we just got the last couple of pieces in that we need. So now we can start reassembly of that bike. So now the customer is going to start receiving pictures as early as next week of the Martin Brothers bike going together. As soon as I get the other 2 parts for the other bike, the 360 Monster, then we're going to start putting those pictures together, start sending those out. The reason we do this here is because I don't know any other way to do it. Because I know whenever you take your car, you take your motorcycle, whatever it is you have, you take it to someone else to do a repair on, or you take it to someone else to do a modification to, or paint, or whatever it is you take them to do it. The worst feeling in the world is no communication. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. I know people personally that refuse to do it because I don't know if they refuse to do it because they think they're too good to do it, or that, the customers don't deserve that, or they don't like showing the progress. I don't know what they do. We send them because we want the customers to understand, yes, we're working on your bike. Yes, we're taking care of your bike. Yes, it's moving in a forward motion. I do that because I want to build a reputation where people trust us, where they know when they bring it here that they're going to be able to stay in communication with us. And here and again, let me say this: we're a small shop. We're just a mom and pop shop, or a father-son shop, and we have the time, we have the ability to do this right now. Once we get a big shop, we may not have that ability. We may not have that opportunity because we'll be too busy to continually take pictures. But I will say this: it literally, to take 4 pictures of a bike, it literally takes me less than 30 seconds. I don't really see how taking pictures of a bike and keeping a customer updated is a bad thing. I don't get that. I'm not down in people that do it. I'm not down in people that don't do it. I'm not down in anybody. I'm just saying for us. I've had things done for me before where I paid someone money and did not get hardly anything that I paid for, and feel like I got completely screwed over. I got lied to repeatedly. And people, let me explain something to you. Everybody knows it's on here, and I'm looking at all the names that are popping up and everything. And most everybody on here is in the bike community, or at least what do they call that? A supporter of the community. But everybody here has been in a position and knows how it feels to feel like you're being held hostage with your stuff. There's nothing worse than begging someone, dude, just please send me a picture. Let me know, even if you're not working on it, just send me a picture. Let me know that it's at least in line. And it drives me completely mad when they just ignore you. They don't say shit. And then when they're done with it, it's almost like they're pissed off at you because you just wanted to stay in communication with them. And dude, that's bullshit to me. That's such bullshit. I would much rather for someone to say, hey, look, your project is taking a lot longer than we thought because the projects we had before you are taking a lot longer than we thought. But I'm telling you, whether you're happy or you're mad or whatever, I'm telling you, I can't get to your stuff right now. It's taking time, it's taking longer. I can't reach the deadline that I gave you. I thought I could. Just being honest and open with somebody that literally takes the sting away, and no offense, there are people out there that will say, well, you know what, that's cool. I'm just going to come pick up my stuff. I'm going to take it to another shop. Hey, man, no harm, no foul. I get it. I understand. Go ahead. I'm not bad mouthing any shops. I'm not speaking for any shops. I'm just saying, I don't know. I really personally don't know of any other shop that does business the way we do it. I just don't know of any. Doesn't mean they're not out there. It just means I don't know of them. But I will tell you this: we have a bike in our shop right now. We just have to be completely honest with this customer and tell them, hey, look, we're literally going to have to tear it back apart just to fix what's going on, simply because the wiring in this thing is so bad that even though the part works, the wiring is just scatterbrained everywhere. And I'm afraid that under normal riding conditions, with the wind blowing across the bike, with the vibrations, things of that nature, that these wires are just going to chafe, and then they're going to end up shorting out the bike and doing a lot of damage. Now, when you tell a customer that, a customer's all, like, well, God, man, I just paid to have all that done. Yes, I get it, but you can see what you paid for. You can see what you got. And there's nothing worse than when a customer says, hey, man, I was going to take my bike over to this shop, but they wanted $40,000 to build me a bagger. So I found a shop that would do it for 10. Well, there's your first problem right there, sunshine. 10. You just 75% discount, and somehow, some way you think you're going to get the same quality of work, and it's never going to happen. What's up, Dre? You can't please everyone. It is better business to give customers updates versus them asking for an update. Amen, Tim. I couldn't agree more. What's up, Mr. Pat Beatty? Good to see you, brother. But so that's the whole thing. So I've got a seat. Actually, I'll tell you guys the truth. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, hold on. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at 4 seats, and there's a 5th one downstairs, and then there's 5 more on order from out of state. One of these seats is for a good friend of mine, and all I can do is be honest with him. Yes, you drop the seat off, and the time I can't jump right on your seat. I apologize, but I can tell you this: when you do get your seat, I can promise you, you're going to get more than your money's worth. I'm going to stay in constant communication, and we text weekly, and I've had his seat for probably 2.5 weeks now. And I'll tell you, man, I feel really, really bad, but in the same hand, I can't lie to people, especially when it's people that I've known for 35 plus years. And they just want something because it's me. So you got to stay honest, man. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow when you have to be honest with someone and say, man, I haven't even started it yet because I've got X, Y, and Z over here. And then you get customers that they're not 100% sure. So like with me, when I do a seat, we make the seat pan, we shape the foam, we stay in contact with the customers and ask them, okay, well, what were you kind of leaning towards? What are you liking? And, and more times than not, they're like, well, you're the seat guy. You know what looks good. And I'm like, yes, I get that. But what I think looks good on your bike and what you think looks good on your bike might not be the same. Case in point, I have a customer that I thought, man, I wanted to do this seat for this guy. It looks so freaking good to me on his bike, but he didn't like it. So, the customer needed a little bit of time, couple hours to, mull it over and really think about what he was doing. And he was just, I think he was afraid to tell me because he didn't want to hurt my feelings. But the truth of the matter is that, man, when someone's paying you to do something for them, you have to be that dude. You got to have that conversation. You can't get your feelings hurt because it's not what you want to do. You got to make your customer happy. And there's a seat that I did a while back, man, and I don't think I've ever gotten more shit for a seat. Why did that pop up? How do I get this to go away? I don't even want to press that. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do shit with it. Oh shit! Because I know as soon as I click a button, this damn thing is gonna shit. I know as soon as I click a button, man, it's gonna push everything away. But anyway, I think he was afraid to hurt my feelings. But the truth of the matter is, you're not hurting my feelings. You're making me work harder to make you happy. But when you're happy and you leave, I know you're happy. You know, you're going to tell more people about me because I'm willing to do the work that you want me to do and make it the way you want me to make it. And, you know, I hate to throw you painters under the bus, and I don't mean to throw you painters under the bus, but the reality of it is this. Dealing with painters sometimes is really dealing with painters sometimes is hard because painters have visions of what they want and what they want to do. Their visions are different than yours. But I know one thing is in my head, I want okay. So if y'all are still there, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I had something pop up in the lower right hand of my screen that said I was some antivirus. And she said, "Don't push the button." I didn't push the button. I did push the button. I'm sorry, but it was the button to just agree with it. It wasn't the button to run. Anyway, I'm an idiot with computers. You guys know that. So I'm back. But anyway, with painters are hard because some people don't have a real good general idea of what they're looking for. I mean, they can think of it in their head, but when they're trying to lay it out with the painter, they're having a hard time. So they rely on the painter's creativity and things he's done in the past to get them what they're wanting. He said, "Too much poured up." Not on this computer, Sunshine. Not this one. I learned my lesson the hard way. But anyway, so when I work with painters and I work with, other people in the industry, I have learned, and I'm going to tell you right now, trying to keep from hurting someone's feeling that you're paying to do something for you is the stupidest thing in the world you could do. I'll give you a case in point. I paid a painter one time to paint a bike for me, told him the colors, gave him artwork, everything. And I said, I kind of want it to look like this and I want it to do that. And when I went and picked my bike up, it was not even close to what I wanted. The colors were there, the creativity, what he did was awesome, but it did not, it's not even in the same realm of what I wanted as far as a paint job goes. I was too afraid to say anything because I was afraid to hurt his feelings. And what I should have said is, hey man, that's not what I wanted. I spared his feelings and left pissed off, disappointed, upset because it wasn't what I paid for. It wasn't what I wanted. Got to quit the cigs, brother. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So Devin's actually helping me with that, Uncle Bruno. You're damn straight I have to quit the cigarettes. Amen to that. But when I did that, I didn't hurt his feelings. He never knew, and unless he's watching the show, which that's highly unlikely, he would have never known today that I didn't want that paint job. That's not what I paid for. That's not even the artwork that I gave him. I've learned now. I would much rather tell you up front, hey, look, if I personally have to sketch a motorcycle with a pencil to get you to understand what it is I'm looking for, I would rather take the time to do that, because there is a level of painter's creativity that you're leaning on to get them to decipher what's in your head. And I get that. I'm cool with that. But when the paint job ain't even fucking resembling what I asked for, that's just bullshit. And then you get lied to about the time frames, then you get lied to about the price, and then it's a big mess. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm just honest up front. It's just easier that way. And I tell everybody that I use for paint work now, I tell them up front, hey, look, I'm not negotiating your price, but I want you to stand behind your work, and I want you to stand behind your price, and I want you to stand behind your time frame. So before we agree on you doing this job, what's it going to cost? How long is it going to take? Can you meet those? Because if I'm going to agree to hire you to paint something for me, I'm going to expect to pay what you said the price was, and I'm going to expect to get the product when you tell me I'm going to get it. And I tell them up front, now, if you're telling me it's going to take 1 month to paint this project, I'm going to give you 6 weeks. That way you have 2 weeks push time to actually get it done and get it back to me, or I'll come get it, or whatever whatever it may be. That's good business. And I'm not mean about it. I'm not shitty about it. I ask those questions up front, and I expect what I expect, and you expect to get paid for what I expect. So we both have expectations, and we both have to be happy when we're done with the transaction. That way there's future work. Now, a lot of people are afraid to have that conversation because they feel like well, he's the artist, I'm not the artist. Bullshit. You can talk, you can have a conversation. It's not hard. If you're afraid of hurting someone's feelings and you're about ready to give them, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15,000 to do something for you, there's something wrong with you, not them. Because most all business owners and most all bike builders, seat guys, painters, chromers, whatever you want to put down there, they're in business to make money. That is not a hidden agenda. That is not a hidden fact. They're not there to help out everybody they've got, and make all their buddies look good at a good price. No, they're there to make money, and that's the truth of the matter. And as long as you lay out what you expect and they lay out what they expect, you should have pretty decent relationships. I know, like me, one of my customers, he, like I said, he calls me about once a week. Hey man, have you started on my seat? No, not yet. Hey man, how are you doing? And I just stay as honest as I possibly can with him. That way there's no chance for me to get caught up in a lie. There's no chance for him to say I didn't tell him that. I try to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Is this where the Rattle Can Mafia came from? So the Rattle Can Mafia, and this is a true story. This is where the Rattle Can Mafia came from. And I'm going to tell you what, I need somebody that's not going to charge me out the butthole to come up with a t-shirt idea for the Rattle Can Mafia. If anybody out there can draw worth of shit and wants to help out a little bit for the show, I'd like to get the artwork done so I can make some t-shirts, because the Rattle Can Mafia is a real thing. Let me tell you how it happened. I got a bike painted one time. We took it to Austin, and in an unfortunate situation, the bike fell over. When it fell over, he said, no. He said, easy. Is this? Yeah. The bike fell over, and it was about the size of a nickel. It chipped the paint perfectly, the size of a nickel. Well, I took it after the show and everything, and took it to a guy, and he gave me a price to repair it. There was no artwork in this piece. It was just the paint. Said, cool. When can you get to it? Oh man, give me, hit me up in a couple of weeks and I'll get to you. Well, I hit him up in a couple of weeks. He didn't get back to me. He said he didn't want to do it. Okay. So I ended up making a long story short. I'm going to give you the shorter version. I took it to a painter. This painter said, hey man, I'm going to charge you, $450. I can fix it on the bike. No big deal. Okay, cool. So a month went by. I had a deadline. He knew the deadline. We both agreed it was only going to take him a week to finish it. I gave him 3 weeks to finish it because I understand painters. So after a month, he didn't touch the bike. So I took the bike from him. He wouldn't let me have the bike until I paid him the $400, even though he hadn't done any work. He just said, hey, I need the money. I got to buy the materials, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. When do you want me to bring this bike back? He said, well, bring it back Monday after the show. I said, okay, cool. So I brought it back to him Monday. Now, mind you, he had the bike for almost a month. So I missed that show. He didn't fix it. Took him the bike. So I told him, okay, well, we got Galveston coming up. Can you get it ready for Galveston? And he said, yes, I can. So he got the bike. I took it right back to him. He had the bike for almost 6 weeks, and it literally looked like he took a blue rattle can, shook it up, and goes, and then took some clear and said, and it had runs in it and everything. And I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? He's like, well, I didn't have time to do it, so I just put some rattle can on it for right now, but bring it back after Galveston and I'll take care of it. I said, well, you're going to have it ready for the Autorama because that's at the end of November. He said, yeah, I'll have it. So I took him the bike after Galveston. Well, at that time, he said, hey, man, I'm going to need more money because I can't do this for the $450 we agreed. I was like, well, you haven't done anything yet. So you're telling me you need $850 now. I've already given you $450. So are you telling me I need to give you another $400? And he said, no, man, I'm going to need half of the money up front now. So the $450 you already gave me plus another $800. So I'm going to need another $400 from you just to get it now. Well, anyway, so I took him the bike, gave him the money. Well, 3 weeks later, I went to pick my bike up and he's like, hey man, I need the rest of that money or you're not getting your bike. And I'm like, but you haven't done anything to it. Anyway, so I had to pay him the other $400. So now we're $1,200 into this bike and it hadn't even been fixed yet at all. Picked the bike up and at this point in time, I'm so livid pissed. It's not even funny. So he says, well, bring it back after the Autorama and take the fairing off. I have to have the fairing off to fix it. Now, mind you, the chip is on the outside of the fairing. The outside of the fairing, not the interior piece. There's no handlebars next to it. There's no speaker grills next to it. There's nothing. It's on the outside of it. There's nothing there. And I was like, okay. So I took it to him December 4th. This guy had my bike all of December, all of January, all of February. And finally, in the beginning of March, I'd had enough. And I went to go get my bike. And I was pissed. Oh, I was fit to be tied, man. Get there, and it hadn't even been touched. Hadn't even been touched. Which let me rephrase that. He didn't have the bike. He had the outer fairing. Or my bad. He had the whole fairing because my fairing was a one piece. So he wanted $400 more just to let me have my fairing back. Because he said he wasted so much time trying to figure out how to fix it that he figured I owed him $400 more. So now we're up to $1,600 and he never fixed a damn thing. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 8 months, $1,600, and he hadn't fixed shit. That's where the Rattle Can Mafia comes from, is because I literally took my bike, put the fairing on the bike, and was like, fuck it. I went to AutoZone. I found a color blue that was so close to what I had. I bought some primer, a little small can of primer, small can of the blue, and a small can of clear coat. And I literally fixed it myself. And there is pictures on American Drag Seats / Attitude Inc. Facebook page, and you can see all of the pictures where I fixed it. And you know what? For 40 fucking dollars, 40, I was able to fix my fairing on my bike, and I'm not even a painter. That's where the Rattle Can Mafia comes from. I fixed it with a rattle can from AutoZone. And you know what? It is what it is. And I'm one of those people that you push me and you push me and you push me and you put me in a corner. I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do it myself. What's up, Mr. Orlando? What's up, Sam? But it's one of those things. What's up, Mr. Alex? Logan Black's in the house. But it's one of those things where you get tired of being lied to over and over and over and over and over. And the reality was the guy couldn't do candy. The guy could not, he couldn't fix it because he didn't know how to fix it, and I see the guy still today. I see him. Now, mind you, all this happened in 2015. We're damn near 8 years later, or, well, in August, it will be 8 years later. But here we are 8 years later, and it's just like every time I see this guy, my blood boils and I want to fucking knock his socks off of him. I want to hit him so fucking hard because he took $1,600, wasted my time, ruined a good friendship because he's a piece of shit. But I guess I should thank the guy because he actually pushed me to figure out how to use the rattle can to fix it. Then he pushed me to learn how to deal and how to do business with somebody when you're paying them for a service or when they're paying you for a service. At the end of the day, it's all about money. That's what it's about. You can tell me all day, well, I just do this because I love it. No, you don't. You do it because you love it. I get it. You have a passion for doing it, but you're not going to do it for free. And no one expects you to do it for free. But what you got to do is you got to be accountable. People are paying you for what you're good at or what you claim to be good at. And if you're not the best, you can be honest with somebody. I had someone ask me for a tooled leather seat I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I told them, I said, hey, I am not the best at it. I'm expensive and it takes me a long ass time, but my honesty to them, it impressed them. No, they didn't get the seat, but I didn't want to put them in a position that they got pissed off at me. So I'm honest with them, and yes, I missed out on the sell, but I mean, I know for a fact the guy likes my work, but as far as leather tooling, he needed to go to somebody that was better than me. And I appreciate that. That's why I have seats sitting here on the ground that I play with occasionally when I'm not, backed up, 3 months. And I teach myself more and more and more to try to hone that skill to get it better so that I can tell people, yeah, I do tooled leather seats. Yes, I'm good at it. Yes, I do the airbrushing, the deep engraving tooling and the lacing and da. But I'm not about to put myself in a position just to ask for the person's money and screw myself, not give them what they want, and kill myself and put out a shitty product. It's not going to happen. So what did he said? If you love it, you got to do it right with the right tools and the right respect. Sam, I couldn't agree with you more. I agree 100%. But sometimes the old phrase goes like this: you got to fake it till you make it, or you just got to pay your dues, or you just got to realize I'm not the best, so I can't charge the best prices. You can tell a customer, hey, I'm new at this, or hey, I'm not the best at this yet, but it's my passion. I want to get better. I want to do this. I will give you a discount because I know I'm not the best, but work with me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That way the customer knows that they're not going to the pro, but they're going to someone that wants to become a pro. And that's what I call paying your dues. Everybody's going to go through it. Everybody's got to do it. And you're right, Sam. If you love doing something, you're going to put in the work to do it. You should have introduced him to Southern Justice, but the piece of shit kneecaps after the first night on the deal. Well, so John, yeah, and I'm not the vindictive kind of person, but I believe in karma. So I'm not about to sit here and tell you, oh, I'm going to go back to the way I used to be. No, I'm the same person I've always been. I'm pretty honest. I'm pretty outspoken. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. If you have pushed me to a point that I want to hurt you, or at least want to get my own ass kicked, that's a bad place for me to be. It really is, because I've got a wife, I've got a 10-year-old son, I've got this business, I've got American Drag Seats, we've got Legacy Bike Work. I have too much to lose over some piece of shit and $1,600. But I will say this. I do believe in karma, and I do believe that there's going to come a time in this man's life he's going to need something, and I'm going to be the person he needs to get it from. And when that happens, when that part happens, I'll have to cross that bridge when I get there, because I'll tell you what, more than likely it's not going to work out in his favor. And I'll let him know, well, you know, if you wouldn't have screwed me over, ruined a friendship, I'd be all over helping you right now. But since you did all that shit and you lied and you lied and you lied, I'm just going to sit right here and watch you suffer, knowing damn good and well I could have helped you out and got you out of this. But, you know, you lay in the bed you make. Man, post a comment in Facebook done got me. I don't know what guest state done got me. Maybe you need to increase your prices. No, not yet. I don't. I will, but not yet. I don't. I mean, with people like James Carter and Dave Voss and Troy Swarver out there, those guys are so freaking good. I'm still learning. I'm still paying my dues. Yeah, I've been doing it for 20 years now. Actually, January 1st will be 20 years that I've been doing this. And I still feel like I'm learning. I still feel like there's a curve and there's some aspects to some of the seats that I do that I need to work on and get better at. But I will say this, I do make an effort all the time to step out of my comfort zone. I do make an effort to do things that I'm not comfortable doing because I want to get better at them. And having people like Dave Voss, Troy Swarver, and, you know, James Carter, having those guys to look up to, look at all the seats that they're posting up and stuff like that. They create a level that I aspire to get to. And, you know, I'm not the best, and I'm not afraid to tell people that there are some things I'm really fucking good at that I know they probably couldn't do or don't want to do because it's taxing on the way that they do the things that they do. Answering Smooth. Okay, what did Smooth say? Wait, 1,200 for a tank? No artwork? No, it wasn't. It was a repair that was the size of a nickel, and it started out at $450. Then it went to $400. Then it went to 400 more dollars. At the end of the day, it was $1,200. And then when he didn't get it done, he told me he needed $400 more to eat up his time because he tried to do it. So it was $1,600 for a repair the size of a nickel that he never actually did because he's a fucking idiot and doesn't know what he's doing. He should stick to pinstriping and keep doing the same goofy pinstriping he's always done. I would say his name, but what good would it do? Nobody knows him. He's not in the motorcycle community worth of shit. I mean, I do have some acquaintances that know him and kind of like him, but I'll tell you this, I will warn every single person I know. I will warn them of what he did to me and how he did it. And if the guy ever runs up on me and he wants to get shitty with me for what I'm saying about him, I'll just tell him, hey, bitch, let's go Facebook Live and you can say everything you want to say it to my face right now for everybody to see. That way, if I get my ass whooped, it's proven. It's proven that I got my ass whooped by this fucker. Excuse my French. But no, I'm not afraid of the ass whooping, just like I'm not afraid to whoop his ass. I'm going into it with the same thought, win, lose, or draw. He's just going to know I'm there. That's to me, that's the most important thing. Whether I win or I lose, I just want them to know that dude was there. That dude showed up. My granddaughter filled a dent that big. Nancy, let me tell you something. Will you please get your granddaughter to come on my show? I really want to interview that little girl. Please make it happen, Nancy. What he said, I think that painter was buying drugs, not paint and products. Yeah, I'd have to agree. What's up, Mr. Dog? I got your back. I'll slap anybody to sleep. Dre, that's the best thing I've ever heard. I will slap anybody to sleep. Uh, Let me tell you guys. So, just in the comments, just put a yes or a Y or an N, yes or no. Have you ever been knocked out? Let me go on and type my answer right here. Have you ever been knocked out? I want to see who is truthful and who is not. So I just typed my answer. Y for yes, N for no. How about that? Is it because you've never been in a fight, or is it because you've just never you're fortunate to have never been knocked out? Because I got knocked the fuck out my senior year of high school. I got knocked out. I never even saw the guy coming. I was too focused on the guy in front of me to see that there was a guy a little bit behind me rearing up to pop me right there behind the ear. I went directly to sleep, never even knew I got hit. And you know what I learned from getting knocked out? I learned that I don't like getting knocked out. But the truth of the matter is, man, I will tell you this. I have been in a lot of fist fights in my life, and I have gotten beat up a lot in my life. I won't sit here and brag to you that I'm this awesome MMA badass fighter. I won't say any of that to you. But here's one thing I will tell you. I'm not afraid to get knocked out. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to get hit. So let that speak volumes. But anyway, as far as that guy goes, no, I have no time for him. If I ever see him and I'm in a position, if he runs his mouth or says anything, we'll handle it right then. But if not, man, that's cool. Karma is a bitch. I'm probably pretty sure karma's come back and bitten him. So anyway, at this point in the game, I'm just rambling, but I appreciate you guys watching. Remember, go over to the YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to it yet, go to the Grind Biker Build Off on YouTube, subscribe, hit the little bell so you'll get the notifications, and leave comments. Just randomly go through the videos and just leave comments on them. The more activity goes on over there, the better it is for the show. The show is 100% funded by these advertisers you see at the beginning of every one of these podcasts that I do. I appreciate them. I love them. But a lot of this show is funded right here by my own company. And I do that. And for the first couple of years, I didn't advertise my own company, but I have to advertise it because I need the money. Uncle Bruno said the YouTube link is pinned on this page. Hell yeah. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all's support. We do have some interviews coming. I know June. Let me tell you guys the date, because this is going to be one of those interviews I want you guys to see. What is it? Gina Hell. Where is it? Hold on, guys. I got to give you all the update on this, because this is going to be a really, really, really good interview. Right here, June 8th at 8 p.m. June 8th at 8 p.m. We're going to have the show 1 hour early on June 8th. which, if I'm not mistaken, is 2 weeks from now. We are supposed to be interviewing the Hales from right here, halespeedshop.com. I'm telling you guys, if you guys didn't know about this, I'm pretty sure it was on Amazon. Nathan Hale had a documentary, and that's how I found out about him. And I've wanted to interview this guy since I started this show, ironically. But when I found out that they were actually a big supporter of the show, and then they wanted to come on as advertisers, it just blew my mind. I was like, man, this is so freaking cool. Well, they have committed to a date, which is June 8th at 8 p.m. We are going to go 1 hour earlier because they have kids. He gets up early, and the man built some kick-ass hot rods, and he's just a great all-around guy, but his story is so badass. So I wish I knew the documentary link so I could send you guys to Amazon Prime to watch it. But anyway, I'm sure if you go to Amazon and type in Nathan Hale, you're going to find his documentary. You can, watch this guy's story. It's amazing. But we will have him on June 8th at 8 p.m., 1 hour earlier. But anyway, guys, if you could take 2 seconds, push the share button on this video. Let's spread it like wildfire. But anyway, you guys go have a blessed night, and we